Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome to the City Ground where it's just finished Nottingham Forest 1, Arsenal 2, 3 much needed points for Arsenal, backing up that win against Crystal Palace and sending them into that game against Liverpool, crucial game against Liverpool at the weekend with 3 points under their belt. It was a game they absolutely deserved to win, but it was a game they made very, very nervy at the end, with Nottingham Forest pulling a goal back in the 89th minute and setting up that classic grandstand finish. But in truth, Arsenal held out pretty comfortably, and it was a game they absolutely deserved to win. It was a game of two halves. I'll run through my player ratings in a bit, a little bit later on in this video. I'm just watching Mikel Arteta down below me just now, talking to Laura Woods and the TNT Sports crew. I'm sure he's pretty happy with the result. Like I said, it was a game of two halves. First half, Arsenal absolutely dominant. Some of the stats doing the rounds in terms of final third passes. I think after half an hour, Nottingham Forest had one pass in Arsenal's final third, and Arsenal had over 100 in theirs. It was a stat that summed up the half, but Arsenal did very, very little with that possession, with that territory. Kind of, story of a lot of the season, really. I mean, it was a weird performance, I thought, from Forest in a way, from a Premier League team. It kind of looked like a non-league team, and that's not trying to be detrimental to Nottingham Forest, but that's what it looked like. It just looked like a team from a few leagues below, just desperately trying to do anything but concede a goal. So just packing on the edge of the box, not even looking to really break away when they did try and clear the ball. It was just attack against defence with absolutely no space for Arsenal to work into. They could have done better. They could have moved the ball quicker. They could have maybe had some runners take a chance from deep. Declan Rice, for example, could have got in the box a little bit more, sort of created the extra man when crosses were coming in. But it was very, very hard to play through a defence that was that, or not just a defence, basically 10 players, outfield players who were that deep. And it was just a really strange game. And it was 0-0 at half-time. Arsenal had a couple of opportunities. Saka went the closest when his shot deflected just wide. Matt Turner, to be fair, didn't have a shot to save really in that first half, despite all of Arsenal's territory and despite all of Arsenal's possession. But it was a very, very different second half. Nottingham Forest made a change at half-time. Nuno Espirito Santo sent on Awoniyi, who's obviously got a very good record against Arsenal, and continued that record by scoring very, very late on. But that change, it changed the game a lot because Forest actually started to attack, and that created far more space. And it was just a completely different game in the second half than it was in the first half. Arsenal had a lot of space. They took advantage of that. They got forward. They moved the ball quicker because of the wide open space they had at times. And they did cut Forest apart quite a few times. They should have gone in front with a really lovely move down the right-hand side. It ended with Gabriel Jesus being played in. He hit the post when he really should have scored. He kind of thought at that point, like, oh no, is it going to be one of those games? And is it going to be one of those games for Jesus? But to his credit, he kept his head up and he scored soon after, albeit Matt Turner, obviously former Arsenal goalkeeper and goal for Nottingham Forest. I don't think he'll be too happy when he watches the replays. It was a very, very tight angle. It was bright play from Arsenal. The ball went out for a throw-in. Forest switched off. Zinchenko took a quick throw. Jesus raced into the box and he poked the ball home from a really, really tight angle. It went through Matt Turner's legs at the near post. He will be pretty disappointed, I imagine, with that goal. And then it was 2-0 soon after. Really good breakaway from Arsenal. Again, exploiting that space that they had in the second half that they just didn't have in the first half. Kai Havertz had just come on for Smith Rowe, got his start. I thought Smith Rowe played pretty well in that 70 minutes. He came off at 70 minutes, which was no surprise. First start since October. Havertz came on and immediately won a header, sort of cleared it up to the halfway line where it found Odegaard. He released Jesus. Jesus raced away, picked out Saka with a nice ball across to the far side. And Saka, really good finish with his right foot. Obviously his weaker foot, but he's definitely worked on that and improved that a lot. He picked out the far corner, 2-0. And he thought at that point it was going to be a comfortable win. And it seemed to be a comfortable win for the remaining sort of 20 minutes from that point onwards. And Trossard came on, looked good, so close to making it 3-0 with a lovely shot that went just over. And Arsenal in complete cruise control now. And nothing in the 89th minute, Forest suddenly scored. Saliba won't be too happy with his part in it. Awoniyi's obviously a really big physical player. And the ball sort of got played into the Arsenal box. It bounced around and Awoniyi spun Saliba. He just was a bit too strong for him and out-muscled him and then prodded home the loose ball. And that set up the grandstand finish. There was 5 minutes of stoppage time. Forest had a couple of times when the ball went into the box. Awoniyi swept one sort of goalwards, which Raya claimed very, very comfortably. But other than that, Arsenal saw it out. I thought Trossard was had a really good cameo coming on the second half. Did a lovely little bit of play in injury time when he just ran the length of the pitch, kept the ball. Forest couldn't get it off him, and got a really good cheer from the away fans, which he thoroughly deserved. I thought it was a really good substitute appearance from Leandro Trossard, and that was it. 2-1 Arsenal, and much needed win. As I said at the start of the show, they needed to win this game. They needed to back up that victory against Crystal Palace. They did that, and they needed to take 3 points into the game against Liverpool at the weekend. They're obviously playing first during this week, ahead of Liverpool, ahead of Man City. They had to put the pressure on. They had to get 3 points, and they've done that, and they'll be very, very happy. Well, they were very happy. You could see over with the away fans at the end of the game. They were very, very happy with the 3 points. Right, player ratings wise from Arsenal today. As I said, a really strange game, complete domination for large parts of it. Some of them, most of them played well. No one played badly, I didn't think, but no one played brilliantly. I thought Jesus had to be man of the match, goal and assist. And I thought the way he bounced back from hitting the post as well was really, really positive in the second half. And this is hopefully going to be a big game for him going into the Liverpool match. Should give him plenty of confidence. I'm going to give him my man of the match. But I'll go through Raya. I thought, look, he was a spectator for large parts of the game, but everything he did do, he did well. He swept up well. His distribution was good. Came for crosses well, so I gave David Raya a 7. In defence, Ben White, I gave a 6. Saliba, I gave a 6. Would have been a 7, but I just took a point off for the goal. He will be disappointed with it, no doubt. Gabriel, I gave a 7. Comfortable night's work for him. Zinchenko, I gave a 7. Zinchenko, really sharp, quick thinking with the throw in to set up Gabriel Jesus' goal. Like a lot of the players, he maybe took 1 or 2 touches extra when he could have moved the ball a bit quicker in the first half, but he was always involved, Zinchenko, always on the ball, always involved. And like I said, he was very sharp for the second goal. So I gave him a 7. Declan Rice ran the midfield, dominated the midfield at times. As I said, I would have liked to seen him maybe get into the penalty area more, especially in that first half when it was so tight, so congested. You needed something different. Arsenal had no height in the penalty area because Kai Havertz obviously wasn't starting. I would have liked to see Declan Rice maybe get, be the extra man, get into the penalty area when the ball was out wide, just to give another bit of presence into it. But I thought he played well anyway, and I gave him a 7. Odegaard, I gave all 3 midfielders a 7. In fact, Odegaard, again, like Zinchenko, at times he thought, have a shot, Martin, you've got the position there, but he made the pass or he took an extra touch, but he was always involved, always lively, and he caused Forest problems, Odegaard. So I gave him a 7. And I thought Smith Rowe, it was a good 70 minutes for Smith Rowe. It's his first start since October, only his second Premier League start since May 2022, I think it is. Unexpected. None of us really expected him to start this game, but I thought he was decent. He put in a good shift. It'll be really good 70 minutes in his tank, and it'll be very interesting to see what Arteta does at the weekend now against Liverpool. Does he keep that starting spot? Does he bring Havertz back in? Big question for Mikel Arteta to answer there, but as you can imagine, I was very happy to see Emil Smith Rowe start this game, so I gave him a 7. Up front, Martinelli didn't have too much space. When he did, he looked threatening, but his space was in short supply. I gave him a 6. Jesus, man of the match, gave him an 8. Goal and assist, like I said, and I thought his response to hitting the post when he could have easily let his head drop was really, really good, first class, and he was the difference maker at the end of the day, which is what you want from Gabriel Jesus, goal and assist. So I gave him an 8, and Bukayo Saka I gave a 7. He went close a couple of times, kept going, and then took his chance at the end, making it 2-0 with a really, really good finish. The substitutes came on. Havertz came on, like I said, played his part in the second goal. Did what he had to do. Gave him a 6. Who else came on? Trossard, really good cameo, as I said, from Trossard. Everything he did really, really well. Unlucky not to make it 3-0 with that blistering shot with flew just over. Gave him a 7. And then the others came on sort of pretty late on, like Jorginho in the last couple of minutes, Kivior in the last couple of minutes, and Eddie Nketiah as well, who worked pretty hard but didn't really get too much joy while he was on the pitch. But that's it. 2-1 Arsenal. 3 points in the bag, backed up the win against Crystal Palace. It's exactly what you wanted, and now it's all about that game against Liverpool on Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about this game a lot more in depth. If you want to react to it, you want to be part of that show, please do reply in the comments below to this video, and I'll pull some of them together in my more in-depth reaction to tonight's win in tomorrow's show. Until then, have a very good day, everyone. I'm off to get warm because, as you can tell from the breath probably coming out of my mouth in this video, it is pretty cold here now at the City Ground where it's finished. Nottingham Forest 1, Arsenal 2.